These life lessons will fix 93% of your problems. The hidden cause of suffering. Most people believe life is the reason they suffer. They blame difficult people, bad luck, failed relationships, or painful experiences. They spend years waiting for the world to become kinder, easier, or more fair. But that day never comes. The Stoics understood something that most people never discover. Your greatest source of suffering is rarely the event itself. It is your resistance to it. When reality refuses to match your expectations, the mind begins to fight. It asks, "Why me?" It replays the past. It fears the future. And slowly, without noticing, you become a prisoner of your own thoughts. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack every day. At first, you think life is simply difficult. But inside that backpack are invisible stones: anger, regret, fear, comparison, and the need to control everything. The weight is not life. The weight is what you refuse to let go. Stoicism teaches a different path. It doesn't promise a life without pain. It teaches a life without unnecessary suffering. The moment you stop arguing with reality, your mind becomes lighter. You stop wasting energy on what cannot be changed and begin investing it in what truly matters: your character, your actions, and your peace. That is where real strength begins. Part 2. Accept reality instead of fighting it. Every person has plans, but life has its own plans. Sometimes you lose opportunities you thought were perfect. Sometimes people leave without explanation. Sometimes everything changes overnight. Most people respond with anger. The Stoic responds with acceptance. Acceptance does not mean you enjoy pain. It means you refuse to waste your life wishing reality were different. Think of a tree during a storm. The strongest tree is not the one that fights the wind. It is the one that bends without breaking. That is how wise people live. They adapt. They remain calm. They continue moving forward. Ask yourself this question: how much of your stress comes from trying to control things that were never yours to control? Other people's opinions, their choices, the past, the future. You cannot command any of it. Your mind is your greatest ally or your greatest enemy. The most dangerous prison has no walls. It exists inside the human mind. Every day, millions of people suffer because of things that have not happened. They imagine rejection before speaking, failure before trying, loss before living. Fear becomes louder than reality. The Stoics warned us about this long ago. Your thoughts shape your experience more than your circumstances ever will. Two men can face the same problem. One becomes bitter. The other becomes wiser. The difference is not the situation. The difference is the story each man tells himself. If you constantly feed your mind with fear, comparison, and self-doubt, your life will feel heavy even when everything is going well. But if you train your mind to focus on truth instead of fear, you become calm in situations that once overwhelmed you. Your mind is like a garden. If you neglect it, weeds grow naturally. Negative thoughts detach without losing your humanity. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning to care without becoming controlled by what you care about. Many people mistake attachment for love. They believe that holding on tightly will protect what they value. But the tighter you hold, the greater your fear becomes. Fear of losing, fear of rejection, fear of being left behind. The Stoics understood that everything in life is temporary. People come into your life for a season. Success rises and falls. Even pain eventually fades. So why build your happiness on things that cannot stay forever? Detachment does not mean becoming cold or stop living for other people's approval. One of the biggest traps in modern life is the need to be accepted. People change the way they speak, dress, and think just to fit into a crowd that may never truly value them. But the Stoics asked a simple question. Why give strangers the power to decide your worth? No matter how kind you are, someone will criticize you. No matter how successful you become, someone will envy you. And no matter how hard you try, you cannot control what others think. So stop trying. Your reputation belongs to the world. Your character belongs to you. Every time you choose honesty over popularity, you become stronger. Every time you stay true to your values, your confidence grows. Real confidence is not built by receiving praise. It is built by respecting yourself when no one is watching. Do not measure your life by applause. Measure it by integrity. Because at the end of the day, you must live with your own conscience, not with other people's opinions. The man who no longer seeks validation becomes impossible to manipulate. That is real freedom. Master your emotions before they master you. Every battle you fight in the outside world begins inside your mind. A single moment of anger can destroy years of trust. A few seconds of fear can stop you from chasing your dreams. One emotional decision can change the direction of your entire life. That is why the Stoics trained themselves to pause before reacting. They understood that emotions are natural, but they should never become your master. When anger appears, breathe before speaking. When fear appears, question whether it is based on truth or imagination. When sadness visits, allow yourself to feel it, but never allow it to define you. A calm mind sees solutions where an emotional mind sees only problems. Self-control is not about hiding your feelings. It is about refusing to let your feelings control your actions. Anyone can react without thinking. Very few can remain calm under pressure. And those few become the people others trust, admire, and follow. Discipline is the highest form of self-respect. Many people wait for motivation before they take action. They tell themselves, I'll start tomorrow. I'll change when I feel ready. But tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next year. And nothing changes. The Stoics believe that discipline is far more valuable than motivation. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. A disciplined man keeps his word, even when no one is watching. He wakes up when the alarm rings. He finishes what he starts. He chooses growth over comfort, even when comfort feels easier. These small decisions may seem ordinary, but repeated every day, they create an extraordinary life. Every promise you keep to yourself builds confidence. Every excuse you reject builds character. Every difficult choice strengthens your mind. Silence is the language of strong men. Not every battle deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Yet many people waste their lives arguing with strangers, proving points that change nothing, and reacting to every small offense. The Stoics chose a different path. They understood that silence is often more powerful than words. A calm man does not feel the need to win every argument. He knows that peace is more valuable than being right. When someone insults you, pause. When someone tries to provoke you, remain steady. Your silence often says more than your anger ever could. This is not weakness. It is self-mastery. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest. True strength is quiet. It listens more than it speaks. It observes before it judges. Turn every setback into strength. No one escapes hardship. Every person will experience rejection, failure, loss, betrayal, disappointment. The difference is not what happens to you. The difference is how you respond. Most people see obstacles as proof that life is against them. The Stoics saw obstacles as opportunities to become stronger. Every challenge carries a lesson. Failure teaches humility. Rejection teaches independence. Loss teaches gratitude. Pain teaches resilience. The strongest men are not those who never suffer. They are the ones who refuse to let suffering make them bitter. Every difficult moment asks you one question. Will this break you or build you? The answer is always found in your response. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, who is this experience helping me become? That small shift changes everything. Because life is not happening to you. It is.
The greatest victory is over yourself. At the end of your life, people will not remember every success you achieved. They will remember the kind of person you became. Your wealth can disappear. Your reputation can change. Your possessions can be lost overnight. But your character remains with you until your final breath. That is why the Stoics placed character above everything else. The greatest victory is not defeating another person. It is defeating your own fear, your own anger, your own ego, your own excuses. Every day gives you another chance to become calmer than yesterday, wiser than yesterday, more disciplined than yesterday. Real strength is quiet. It does not need attention. It does not seek applause. It simply continues doing what is right, even when nobody is watching. If you practice these lessons consistently, you will notice something remarkable. Your problems may not disappear overnight, but your ability to face them will become stronger. And when your mind becomes stronger, life becomes lighter. That is the true gift of Stoicism. Not a life without problems, but a mind that is no longer controlled by them.